Welcome to the Tucson Network Kings podcast. I'm your host, Gordy Seward, along with master networker and sales guru, Don Zavis. Together, we talk about how to get the most of your business networking in Southern Arizona. We'll discuss tips, tricks, what to do, what not to do, with some amazing people that know how to build lasting business relationships from this thing called business networking. So strap in and enjoy the show. All right, welcome everybody to episode 4 of the Tucson Network Kings podcast. We are excited about this one. We have Don Zavis with us. My name is Gordy Seward. Y'all know me. Y'all know him already. Hopefully you've already been through 3 of our episodes already. So we're looking forward to some good things. We have a wonderful guest with us today. We have Rebecca Kososkie. Did I say that correctly?
You did.
All right. From the Marana Chamber of Commerce. So, Rebecca, I've known you for quite a while, and you were on our short list of coming in and talking to us about networking and all that the Marana Chamber has to do, has coming up with networking. And so if you could tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been with the Chamber, and how you got started.
Thanks, Gordy and Don, for having me.
Thank you.
I'm Rebecca Kososkie. I'm with the Marana Chamber of Commerce. I have been there since 2010, and we have a 740-member chamber.
What's your title?
I am Executive Vice President, Membership and Business Development. So I super enjoy business development, economic development, which bores the snot out of my husband. But... But anyway, it gets me up in the morning, and I love talking to business owners because I know the fun stuff, the painful stuff, and what keeps them up at night, and what keeps them moving. So I think that's the best.
Don, I think you were talking earlier about how the Chambers were the original networking group.
It was. In fact, if you go, because they go back over 100 years, and originally we just started talking, is originally a financial component. It was a financial grouping, geographically pulled together. The concept being, regionally we're going to kind of get a handle on what's going on because that rising tide raises all ships, and then it's expanded, and now there are not only the geographic ones, there are ones that are based on cultures, there are certain ones that are based on race, female ones, male ones, city ones, state ones, town ones. There's a U.S. Chamber of Commerce, but it's kind of a uniquely U.S. kind of thing. There are other business groups that are throughout throughout the world, but I don't think there's anything like the Chamber. It's that almost unique little enclave of business people that have banded together, and that's the part that I love, because I always tell people, don't worry about the world. If you just dominate your own backyard, I've got people that are, trying to do business 10 states away, and they don't know the guy that's down the street. And to me, that's the real value of the Chamber, because these people have raised their hand to connect.
And everyone's put an investment into it.
Absolutely.
To join, and
absolutely,
they're there for the success of the entire community in the city. So,
and investment not only of money but time. And when you're a business owner or decision maker, time is not your friend.
Oh, absolutely, sure.
You have to be efficient with your time, and that is what we try to help to do anyway with Chambers and ours in particular. So,
how do you help people balance that?
Well, one of the most important things about our chamber is that it is a requirement to have fun, because there's enough of the grind, there's enough of the wearing 8,000 hats and then trying to have a life with your family at the same time. So it's hard. It's really a stressful thing for our chamber members. So to me, fun's one of the biggest components of our events, of just being a chamber member, and just being able to pick up the phone and talk to another chamber member who might be going through some of the same problems or things that you're going through, and just, a 5-minute conversation, you can pick up your whole day. So I think that's a huge component, because we're all pretty much in the same boat. Even if it's the salesperson, the business development person, they still have, they're still talking to the business owner. It's part of that, unless they're a huge corporation, and still, there's just doing business is hard.
Well, and I think it's interesting because we were talking before we started filming, and in this is my opinion, but in the case of a chamber, you are paying a modest amount of money, but in the case of the Marana Chamber, you've got 740 members, and how much is it worth to have 740 people answer your call? When you say, I'm a chamber member, or I'm a new chamber member, what do you do? What does a good prospect for you look like? Because they're, as you mentioned, Gordy, they're making an investment financially for that. They're paying to get to know you. You're paying to get to know them. How much is it worth to have, in your case, 740 people say, yes, I'd love to talk to you. As a sales guy, I mean, that's gold.
Yeah.
So, I love that because it has that. It's that inferred commitment that, we're going to give preferential treatment to other chamber members. We're going to try to look at our directory and do business with businesses like yours first. And as I said before, don't worry about the rest of the world. Dominate your own backyard. If you just got all the business in Marana, you'd be rich beyond your wildest dreams. You don't have to, drive, 10 states away and just, again, dominate that backyard.
Be
I
the
love
frog
that.
in the small pond.
Yeah. And there's so many people that, discounts and, they're just, I think you get just better treatment when you walk in and say, I'm a chamber member, you're a chamber member. Yeah. I believe that you get better treatment as a result of that.
I'm going to say you probably have an 80% better chance getting through whoever the gatekeeper is.
Oh, absolutely.
To talk to that decision maker at that's a chamber member.
Yeah, I've never had that problem. Every chamber I've ever joined, my first goal was call everybody. Call the entire list. Hi, I'm Don. This is, what do you do? What does a good prospect for you look like?
I happen to be an ambassador with the Marana Chamber.
Absolutely,
so
yes.
That's another little step in the door that I
absolutely.
Greet the new business to the area and
we couldn't do it without our volunteers, which are our board members, our ambassadors, our leaders of some of our special interest group roundtables.
It's a phenomenal group. So how many specific events do you guys host
smoly
per month? So I know you've got your Marana Mornings.
Marana Mornings, Marana Insights, For Tuesday Mixer. That's an evening mixer. We have an orientation. We do what am I leaving out? We have a lot of, we have our normally business connection, which are normally luncheons. Next one coming up is breakfast. We have 4 a year. It's quarterly. It's not exactly ish.
Gotcha.
But we have, and then we have a lot of our annual meeting. We have our State of the Town that we just finished up with small little, all 500 of our closest friends at the Ritz-Carlton in Marana.
Yeah, that was phenomenal.
That's true.
That was phenomenal.
And
so let me ask you something.
Tucson doesn't have a Ritz-Carlton.
Let me ask you something. So to keep things from getting ordinary or boring, to keep things fresh, what do you do? How do you keep, you've got several events, which keeps it fresh. But is there anything per event that you try differently or anything like that? Are you pretty structured on what you do?
I'd say each event is its own animal.
Okay.
So our Marana Mornings, we have about 100 to 120 people that show up every single time. We have a sponsor that has 5 minutes to chat about whatever their paying their sponsorship is.
Okay.
And then we pass the mic around, and every single person in that room gets a timed 30-second elevator pitch.
And then you have the bacon.
And then there is the bacon.
Phenomenal bacon. If you get a chance, go to the Marana Mornings, eat the bacon. It is out of this world. Speaking of out of this world, we're going to take a quick break for our sponsor, and we'll be right back.
The Tucson Network Kings podcast is brought to you by Sarah Souders, your local Tucson native real estate advisor with Russ Lyon Sotheby's International Realty, where luxury is an experience, not just a price point. Feel welcome to contact Sarah today at 520-305-6974. Arizona license SA 708-354-000.
All right, welcome back. Rebecca, you were talking about the phenomenal event that is Marana Mornings. You got to go there and check out the bacon and all the other wonderful, wonderful business activity that takes place there. So go ahead and tell us more.
Well, we in the last couple years had to move because we outgrew our previous location. So we moved to the Tucson Premium Outlet Mall in the food court. So we're
Plenty of room for growth.
Got 110 people, but we could easily fit 200 people in there. So I'm not sure we could get it in the same 2-hour time frame. But anyway, it's been a great spot. Our other regular event besides the morning, so we have to even it out with our fourth Tuesday mixer.
Okay.
And that is on the fourth Tuesday. I know it's
Recording.
No concealing it there on
It's
that
actually
one.
this evening, based on our recording today. So
we named it that in 2011 because everybody and their brother was saying, when are you, because we didn't have a regular mixer time, and that we're just going to call it the fourth Tuesday.
Right.
And now
Works for me.
nobody else puts anything on the fourth Tuesday, no other organizations, because they know it's ours.
Right.
And that's our time frame in Southern Arizona.
And then right before that, you have a special meeting for a certain...
We do. We have several special interest groups and roundtables that we have, partly because Marana's the fastest growing town in Southern Arizona. We have a load of contractors and commercial and residential realtors and property managers. So we started that contractors group in August of 2023 with 9 companies. We had, within 3 weeks after that, we had 53 contractors in, and we're at over 160 now.
Wow.
And that is a invitation only. It's not even on our West, I'm a gatekeeper, so just saying.
Yeah.
But anyway,
to be a contractor or services
contractors
to specific
through the
services to contractors.
Correct.
Okay.
So, and that's all they can talk about in that meeting. But anyway, so we have that right before the fourth Tuesday mixer.
And some networking involved in that.
Yeah, a lot of referrals, tons and tons and tons of referrals.
Great.
So that's anybody can be a sponsor for 5 minutes for that too.
Sure. Okay.
Then so the fourth Tuesday mixer, it changes venues along with the contractors group, because that's wherever the fourth Tuesday mixer goes, that's where it's at. So we have a whole lot of Marana venues, and those not quite in venues in Marana, but they have to be Marana Chamber members for us to hold it at that.
Who picks those out?
Now we have our new marketing gal, Kelsey.
Okay.
So she's in charge of our location venues for the Floor Tuesday Mixer, for our social media. She does our social media posting, our website, and our weekly e-news.
She does a great job as well.
Thank you. She does. Absolutely.
I remember I was there her first day.
Yeah. Just a little over a year. It's like hard to imagine.
She's come a long way in that.
But anyway, so the Fourth Tuesday Mixer is a very casual mix. So that is strictly networking. So just a really friendly space to get to. This next one we're doing is at the White Stallion Ranch, which is the oldest dude ranch in Arizona. And just a great historic spot. It's awesome. Part of the reason that they took off, too, was that they allowed the filmmakers that were doing Westerns to do filming on their location, and then they would just stay at the ranch. And so there became this huge tradition there of a lot of filmmakers and directors come and stay there.
Sure,
That's where they take their family vacations, because it's very private area too, except when we have our Fourth Tuesday.
I was going to say until you guys show up.
Yeah.
So I've often used chambers as the networking venue for people who either don't like to network or have never networked. And I think Marana is such a great example, because I was a Marana Chamber member, so I've had a chance to kind of go through the process. You know, there's a great process that you bring new members in through. And, you know, what we hear a lot in networking is that, well, you know, I'm not outgoing. I don't know who to talk to. I'm introverted. I'm shy, and there's a million reasons why they don't do it. But the nice thing I notice about all chambers, but most specifically Marana, is you've got this very comfortable process. You would do the new member orientation, which is primarily just new members, maybe a couple of existing ones.
It's actually called the new and future member orientation.
Oh, the new and future member orientation.
Yeah, if you're interested.
Right. but it was interesting that it's perfect for somebody who really doesn't network, doesn't feel is shy, because you get them into a room, you make them feel very comfortable. There's no pressure involved. It's very communicative. You create environments for people to meet and talk to one another. You offer lots of marketing venues through newsletters and a lot of your online services, and even when you do events, there's a lot of opportunity to connect up either like-minded people, and that's why I'll often say is that I believe the chambers are the greatest place for people who don't like networking to go and network, because so much is just done for you. You just really got to invest the time, show up, be prepared, certainly.
Now, I've also seen you at other networking events, so that you're doing you got your business development hat on, I'm taking it, right?
I absolutely do.
Okay.
I do know how to work a room.
Okay.
So,
right.
but that's part of me with new members, that I can help to train them to be able to do that, and certain tools that they can learn to do to first get introduced to the right people that work for who their target market is, but also when we have people like Gordy, who is our ambassador, that helps with some extra boots on the ground at events. So if you see somebody that deer in the headlight on the wall,
Right,
flower,
you can
like,
reach out
hey,
to them.
go save that person.
Yeah.
So bring them in and get to learn about them.
Also, like the one of the things I enjoy being an ambassador is meeting those new members at the new and future member orientation. We bring the energy. We get them excited about the different events that are coming up. It's usually the day before the Marana mornings, which works perfect. We get them excited about the bacon, and then we get them in there, and
then we present them with their new member plaques and stuff at the end of the
program you got
breakfast event.
Right. But it's almost like I go back to the process, because normally it's like, okay, we're going to do this and we're going to do this, and now you probably want to do this, and after you've done these, this is a good thing for you to do, or get a group, or you mentioned the subcontractors group is it's very, very nurturing, because you're kind of helping them through the process. No, it's not obligatory. There's no pressure involved, but you're saying, well, you may want to consider this, or you may want to consider this. I think, that's something that people who really don't see themselves as networking, or didn't, or feel shy, or maybe they feel introverted and don't want to.
Right.
The chamber, especially yours, is such a wonderful place to have that done, because it is just that nurturing.
Another thing about mention that we also keep an eye on pretty high alert, are that sometimes the business owner is not the one that's going to be there speaking about the business. They have hired a business development salesperson, whatever, that's going to represent them. Those people tend to change. And so part of the things that we try to do is have new reps that are with the chamber. They're with already a member of the chamber, but they're the new rep for it. And part of that training is to come to the orientation, so they could get us excited and see all the opportunities and potential of the things that they can do to make their boss happy and put money in their pockets.
All right,
too.
speaking of putting money in our pockets, we're going to take another break here for our sponsor, and we'll be right back.
The Tucson Network Kings podcast is brought to you by Sarah Souders, your local Tucson native real estate advisor with Russ Lyon Sotheby's International Realty, where luxury is an experience, not just a price point. Feel welcome to contact Sarah today at 520-305-6974. Arizona license SA 708-354-000.
All right, we are back with Rebecca and Don talking about the wonderful advantages of being a chamber member, networking within a chamber. So I've got some questions for you. Now you mentioned earlier that you actually yourself go out to other networking events.
I do.
So you're obviously a seasoned networker. What tips do you have for people that are networking? What's a good networking tip?
First, if you're going out, you need to know what are the best target market that you are looking for. So you really need to dig down and think about it before you walk into the room so that you don't waste your time. Not that you don't want to say hello to everyone, because that would not be friendly, but you do have to, there's a certain amount of time. If it's an hour
you want to be efficient.
event, you have to be efficient and make sure that you meet all of those people, or at least get referrals of who you want to look to. So actually using at the ones that we have at our chamber, we do the ambassadors. So that's a good key. But for me is, I know I'm going to go in and I'm going to talk to at least 10 people that are going to be prospects.
Okay.
I do, if I can't remember somebody's name, I always do the little trick one. Hey, Gordy, let me introduce you. Do you know, and so make that happen. But to me, introducing people that I already know there is a great tool to have people feel like you are a resource, not just another networker. So that I'm not just trying to sell them something, I'm bringing them together for
We need to have a bell every time that actual topic comes up in every single one of our podcasts.
It does. There's a commonality.
You connect people first, and then you will be connected. So
Absolutely.
we'll sometime we'll add a little bell to that.
I kind of like
When
that.
comes up,
Well, I think the people that are really, really good at it realize the value is just that. It's, people will look at you as a resource, especially, a lot of times when you go to a networking event, you're a little, I don't want to say defensive, but you're uncomfortable. Maybe you don't know that person. And you've got, I don't want to say a guard up, but you're not completely open. But now if you've got somebody bringing you opportunities, any defensive posture or worrisome nature just kind of drops to nothing. Because, look, this person is, trying to bring me opportunities. So I think the real good people, and that's why I think we hear it with a level of, consistency. Absolutely.
And I think the attitude when you walk into the room is own the room, look forward, smile, and don't look like you're cautious.
Okay.
People and horses can pick up fear.
So if you stride into that room with your head up, you've got half the battle there.
And everybody's there for the same reason.
People will look at you.
Yeah. And they're all there for the same reason. They're, this person is as much interested in meeting you as potentially you are meeting them.
Yeah.
You may not be a prospect, but you've got, 200 people circling your universe, one of which might be ideal for them.
Or 1,000.
Or
2,000.
Absolutely, sure. Yeah, we all have that.
Yeah.
All right. One final question. Where do you see the future of networking going?
Although I see a lot of...
You think ahead. So.
Well, I see just a few things on some digital and AI. I'm seeing the digital business cards a lot more, and I get that. I don't think we're ever going to get away 100% from just having the physical trade cards, business cards, or trade, here's my phone, let's trade digital. AI, I think it's helpful for your website, a chat to have information about your business, whatever, that sort of thing. But I don't really see how we're ever going to get away from person to person efficiency. Because people want to know people, they don't want to know businesses. They don't care. If your picture's on your landing page for your website, they'll go, oh, I want to talk to that person. Right. They're not going to say, I want to do business with this business.
Yeah. People don't care what you know until they know.
Especially in this town of Tucson.
Yep. Which is a totally small world. Every time I talk to everybody, every single day, I was like, oh, do you know the person? It's like, and then I wind up being sometimes... I'm Ben's mom because my son was soccer forever. He's 47 now. But
I'm still Ben's mom, by the way.
Yeah. So I still get that. So, lots of those hats are still on here.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Well, we thank you very much for coming in.
Absolutely.
How can people get a hold of you? How can they join the chamber? If they have any questions, how can they get a hold of you?
They could go to our website at maranachamber.com. There's all of our events on there. They could, I won't give them my email because it's the longest email ever known to man.
It is.
But our phone number at the chamber is 520-682-4314.
Perfect.
And one of our 6 team members will answer the phone and get you sent to the right person, the right event, and introduce you to who you need to meet.
You got a great team over there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much.
I'm personally
very,
glad to be
very
part
kind
of
of
it.
you.
Yes. Yep. Thanks again for coming on. And Don, unless you have anything,
No, go out and meet somebody.
Yep.
At their chamber, by the way.
There you go.
Chamber.com.
Stay connected, everybody.
You've just experienced the Tucson NetworKINGS podcast. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe for more great tips about networking in Southern Arizona. If you'd like to leave a question, comment, or future topic, you can email them to TucsonNetworKINGS@gmail.com. Also, if you'd like to know more about all of the networking events happening in town, make sure and check out NetworkingTucson.com. That's NetworkingTucson.com. Know where to go.